if you do have XRP in your portfolio, now one of the important questions which you should ask yourself is, am I holding on to the right asset? Can that asset red pull me? Is it actually going to zero? There is a question which I actually saw here and I was like, yeah, that's actually a good question. Do you know how many projects will remain in this market after next 3 years, 5 years, 20 years? That's a long-term horizon to short-term horizon if you are willing. Now look at this. From 2014, XRP is there in top 10. Now look at other coins. Namecoin, Omni, Quark. Are you even familiar with all of these coins which used to be in the top 10 in 2014? Then you look at next year, 2015. You still see XRP there, Litecoin, Bitcoin, and few of those. Now XLM and Doge entered that arena. 2015, right? Now you move to 2016. You still see XRP there with Bitcoin. Now you can move forward all these years, 2016, 2017, 2018 till this date. And what will you see? You will actually observe that last year, 2022 Jan, XRP is still in the top 10. Now, if you actually go to this date, which is today, you actually see XRP still in the top 10, where you get two stable coins within that top 10. So if you remove them, you will see Bitcoin, Ether, Binance Coin, and then XRP. Binance USD, USD Coin, and Tether, three stable coins. You remove that, and it is still in the top 10. So going back to the primary question here, do you really think this asset is going to be here for the next 5 years? I personally have been a fan of this asset because it is serving a purpose. I've been an NRI from some time, non-residential Indian, and I'm trying to move money back to my loved ones. And when I was using banks, they used to charge me 8 to 10% of whatever I'm sending and 2 to 3 days. Since I started using Ripple partners who use that technology, it's like a fraction of that in cost and instant. 5 to 10 minutes, I get the money in my bank in the home country. So if that's real utility for the human beings who want that, I do believe this is going to be there. Now, we know this from 2018, 2019, 2020. All these years, this asset is staying there. The only question which a lot of people will be asking right now is, why is the price not going up? If you look at this particular run up, that was actually 700x. Now, since then, it is consolidating, agreed, but right now the market sentiment itself is slow. It's not like, just one asset is not moving. But from here, what can you actually anticipate? This is Ripple CTO giving you the idea or thought process from his side, why the price is low. So we are going to actually look at that and detail through what's happening in the market right now, because macro changes will impact your portfolio, my portfolio, anyone in any markets. So we will go through that and see how the fundamentals are evolving and how we can take this into account, because there's a lot of misinformation in the market and crypto really kind of gives a bullet. That's actually a silver bullet all of us need to keep in mind. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Welcome to 2023. This is a new year, and one of the primary reasons why we are looking at the history from 2014, 15, 16, 17 till this date, this is like all these years you saw one asset being in the top 10, and not all of those which were there back then or even 3 years back is there in that top 10 right now. So it does make a lot of sense to understand what happened in the past, what's happening in the present, so that now you have an idea of what's coming ahead in the future. Now, we don't have a crystal ball, no one does, but we can sit here and look at the price action, the volume, and the adoption at how things are evolving. XRP Ledger is not just solving one problem in the remittance industry, right? It's just that one portion. Now, that particular portion happens to be solving a big pain point, but keep that in mind, it's payment asset. Now, every business model in itself has payments. Whether you're buying a cloth, whether you are doing anything, it's for value. You're serving value. You get value back. So that's a payment at the bottom layer for that. That's why the usage of XRP Ledger as a payment infrastructure is now gaining momentum. And at that time, this kind of goes 100%. When people actually give you the fact like this, you need to appreciate that, because at the same time, you will see a lot of other people suggesting government is going to take XRP Ledger at a price of $30,000, $10,000 per XRP, which, really does not make sense. If they can buy from the market, why would they do that, right? The common sense. Then you come here, look at what David Joss is actually giving you as his thought process, right? Why the price is not going up. And he actually believes that it's the actual market, right? The market sentiment right now is not that great. And he's actually comparing this market towards the internet era. Not everyone believed that this asset class is going up back then, the internet stocks. But if you look at the top assets right now in the stock market, it is internet-based stocks. That is one of the primary reasons when we look at crypto and you want to understand. Now, whether I agree or not, the market says Bitcoin is their favorite. It's been there at that position from all these time, right? Great. But now the question is, what's the ROI? Because you're looking at the price too, right? You're looking at what the price of XRP was back then, 2017. Now, yes, if you have long-term vision and ultimate patience, now we are going back to look at how things evolved. Great. XRP in 2014 showed you I was 0.027. Great. It was moving up. Then what happened? It is still staying there. 2015. 2016, it dropped in price. 2017, it stayed there. Why is this so important? Because right now we saw the price coming down. It is staying there without having much of a movement to the upside, and people are getting depressed. Yes, I agree. But if you look at the historical price fluctuation, you do see that dropping and staying there. It's kind of 1.5 years, but you actually get on this date, say Jan of both the years, you get that. Now you go down, you want to actually see how things evolve after that, right? That's important. This is actually massive, right? That's why when we go back into the price chart, you see this. You go up in price, 0.02. Now we took Jan, right? So you actually got the price fluctuation here, 0.02. Then the same year you happen to come down, you're consolidating here. That was a long-term consolidation. Then you happen to go up. Why? Because when the consolidation is extra long like this, you do see the price action going parabolic. Now, it's not in this asset. It will not only be in this asset. I completely agree, because in this market right now, we are observing a lot of assets doing similar pattern and then going for that extra rally. The bombardment in price is happening in a lot of different assets. And then after that, now the question is, okay, are you in a bear market? Everyone will have their own different perspective, but ask yourself, last bear market, how did that pan out? Did it actually happen to be a bull flag? Or are you literally looking for the market and saying like, okay, this is a continuation pattern and I do believe that this is retesting this trend line. We broke to the upside. Fine. So on the price terms, you saw this is consolidating and then going for a massive rally. The bear market in XRP was 2 years and more. From 2018 Jan, we started dropping and we bottomed 2020 March. So that actually was an extended long bear market. Right now, if we look at the price and ask the first question, can we actually move down? Yes, we can. We've been talking about that possibility. We wanted to see a bounce, but that didn't happen. We wanted to see the RSI breaking higher, but it got rejected. Now we are coming to the downside. We are touching the support and trying to break to the downside at a time when the price is already breaking to the downside. So that is a little bit of concern. Now, when you actually zoom out, this is what you are observing. Yes, the price did break to the downside, and this is what you're observing. If you break to the downside, now there is an issue. What's that? If you are looking at the pattern side of this, you can argue like, okay, we see one level of highs being formed and then another level of highs being formed, after which you get this. So now the concern of a head and shoulder is valid. So if you are breaking through this particular trend line and its standard deviation, now that is a concern. This is your standard deviation to the downside, which the price put in last time. So if you are breaking through that and getting a daily close, now yes, that is going to be a serious concern for a lot of individuals who are in the market. That is another 35-40% to the downside. So if this pattern is confirming, now what are we looking at? We are literally looking for a bad move in the market, which can span all the way up to 0.2. So we need to see whether this is a fake out. We need to see whether the buyers are going to push back to the upside. If that happens, it's positive. Whenever we got that, we rallied back up. Now, we don't know anything. The market is showing us what it is doing, and that's why we are following the market. And as you follow the market, this is the concern. If you break to the downside, then 0.2 is your next support, which happens to be this trend line support 2 going through this one, and again, you are reaching this range. Now, ask this question again to yourself. When XRP is showing you I'm dropping like this, inside the same market, you have assets which are showing you I'm moving up short term, then a lot of other assets which are dropping harder. Now, not only on a daily view, you can go look at the same on a weekly. You will see some of them grinding to the upside, showing you a breakout pattern. Now, some of these here, we've been posting the breakout charts, and they are now moving up and trying to do a continuation pattern. Agreed. But on the other side of this, you see a lot of other coins dropping hard. A lot of other coins having more sell volume than the buyers, which is actually concerning. Now, what you have to look at that point is that asset in a trend? Is it actually repeating history? For quant, if you look at now, this can happen in two ways, agreed, up or down. Everyone knows that. But what's the possibility of that going up? Last time when it wicked to the downside, it did bounce back up. And it was below all these moving averages. And it went back up. So there is no doubt that there is still a possibility. And at that time, price was 74% below the 200-day moving average. Now, the next time it happened over here in 2022, it was close to 68%, 200-day moving average and the price. But right now, that is close to the price. 200-day moving average and the price is close. So the question of how long it can drop in this asset is like, take an average and you will say it's like 67%, 68%, where the price can actually drop. So if that happens to be a wick lower, it's going to clean a lot of leverage trades. It's going to clean a lot of longs from the market. So taking these into consideration now, come back to XRP. Ask the same question to yourself, like, okay, if that asset there, which is strong and fundamental, is going to drop like that, what do you see for XRP? Historically speaking, last time on a weekly chart, this is what happened. Now, this time, if you take the same measurement, it come back to that measured move of 0.2. So that's where a little bit of concern is. Now, yes, you can go on a 3-day chart, a daily chart to see, can that really happen? Because on a 3-day chart, it does show you, if you drop like that, it will become 70%, close to 70% from the moving average. And even in the bear market of 2020, it happens to be 60%. So now it's like the common sense. You have to actually put that into practice and ask like, it's crypto market, anything can happen. but do you think the probability of that is higher? Because here in the bull market, you actually see like first time when you go above, it's 25%. Next time when you go above that, it's like 180%. After that, when you go run above, it's like 500%. So when it is bullish, the euphoria actually pushed it so much. Now the other side of it, which is pain, right? When you are in pain, you are looking for the first one. That's like 40%. Now you will have to look at the next one, which is 53%. You don't see too much different. Now it is different, but it is not that too much different. Then you are looking for 65. So you don't see the exponential meteoric difference between the prices to the downside. So if you take this account of 60% to the downside, you can still argue that, okay, we are going to come somewhere close to the support range. 0.28 to 0.3 is going to be massive support range for us. Once again, asking that question, is that a long-term support? Can you think that you are going to see a lot of buyers coming in from 0.28 to 0.25? Based on history, yes, we are going to watch that happening in the market. But understand, right now, when you see red numbers in the market on a new year, it's not going to feel great. It's not going to be good for a lot of people. Not everyone see this as an opportunity, because not everyone is looking at what happened in the past and what can happen in the future. Most of us are so much focused on the price today because we've been in the market for a year, 2 years, and we did not happen to see this meteoric rise. If you way back in the market, back then, and you saw this, and now you're watching this consolidation, yes, it's so tiring and depressing, but you do understand what the price can actually do in real time. If you go look at a lot of different assets, it actually shows you like I'm moving up, right? Now you look at Bitcoin and you're like, okay, Bitcoin is showing you I have a support, I may break that. But the RSI suggests to you that I'm breaking the upside or I'm doing a fake out right now. But if you compare both the indicators, say the MACD and the RSI, both of them say like, oh, okay, maybe I'm going to come back down to the support one, but I'm going to test this resistance level one as well. So if you actually happen to see this bouncing, Bitcoin going up, you can consider, okay, that is a huge possibility this asset can go up. Now this is another asset which actually showed similar consolidation, extended long period of consolidation, and then going up. Now, if you argue that this is a bear market, it's your perspective. But look at the market. This won't be the favorite thought process in the market, but this does show a bull flag. Now, you can be on a 3-day chart, you can be on a weekly chart, but if you look at the pattern and correction, it is showing you a bull flag. Now, can it actually come this range? It can. Can it come to this range? It can, and still it will be in that macro bullish narrative. That is not changing. So if you're in the market, this is painful, agreed. If you're in the market, there are few opportunities like BitDAO as we talked previously. And if you want those kind of updates of something breaking higher and a possibility of a trade, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below, where we post assets on a regular basis. And we do check hundreds of assets on a regular basis so that if we see a break higher, you also see that. And if you want to take advantage of that, you can do that, right? And this is new year. If you're going for a yearly subscription, you're going to get like 15 or 16% off for your payment. Now, going back into the altcoin market. Yes, not all the assets are doing fine. Short term, we are having this pattern. We don't have a confirmation yet whether we are going to the upside or to the downside, right? So we are still here waiting to see, okay, the MACD is going up, but is the price following, right? Is the market responding positively? Because now you go on the other side of this, say, you see like the last day when the dollar closed, it was pushing to the downside. This is actually positive, but not everyone sees that as positive. Then you go back to the stock market and you're like, okay, we are still here. We did not actually break to the downside. So the economy is not doing well, but the stock market is still holding on this rally and trying to put in a higher low and a higher high, which signals you something. So if you're in the market, keep that in mind. Start learning every day, because these patterns help you for something. Maybe in next 2 months, 3 months, when this goes up, you will be surprised, because the majority, the big accounts give you the bearish sentiment. But as for yourself, this is 2023. The last high we put in crypto was 2021 May, June for most of the assets. Say XRP came close to $2 back then. Now it's been 1.5 years. So being negative, being bearish, going that route can be hard at this point, because the price has dropped massively for almost all these assets. Agreed. And it's been a long term, and a lot of people left the market. So someone loses money, and that money is coming to the market, and it decides who is the most patient one, and it goes there. So if you happen to be moving out of an asset, someone else is making money in the same asset on the other side. SI family is a small community, but I want you guys to understand this. When someone is depressed and moving out of an asset, he is selling that. He realizes his loss. Until that, it's a red number or a green number, it's just a number. But at that point, what happens? You lose the money, and this actually goes to someone else in the market. That's how the system works. It does not look good, but that's the reality. When someone else loses money, you make money. So here, it's the game of patience. If you lose your patience, someone else is going to make that money. You lose that, but someone else gains. So here, I suggest understand this. You don't want to lose your money. You want to gain money. So you're waiting for someone else to become impatient and sell that out. Great. So guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And for the new year, we have a video here. And this kind of gives you a narrative of how people think. This is especially what I've done in the last 5 years. This is kind of my life story. So I think it can be helpful for all of you guys. If you have next 5-10 minutes you're ready to spend, at least I suggest watch just this one. And if you like that one, please do subscribe to that channel, hit that like button as well, and support that channel too. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.